No Politics, No BS, Dead Hip Hop, album review, Westside Gunn, Pray for Paris. Look, man, I ain't gonna give Westside no motherfucking intro. These Griselda niggas don't need no damn intro, bro. Like, they just keep dropping projects. About, I want to say maybe 2-3 weeks ago, B had the actual track list of this, and he didn't know if it was like 100% valid or not. And the joint obviously that stood out was $500 ounces. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even gonna front. Look, everybody knows that when I go into an album review, I don't want to know the track list. I just want to play it out, get a natural feel for it, and then I'll see it. But because I already saw it and I saw who was on that, yeah, when I went to go listen to this, I played 500 ounces first. But overall, man, like I'm complete. I don't know how these guys are still creating this super dope lyrical music at the rate that they're doing it, because there's no drop off. You know, oftentimes when we review artists that are putting out a lot of work, it's like, oh, okay, you might have missed here or there. You know, even like, you know, certain tracks on projects. Westside ain't missed on nothing. And then another thing that I gotta give a major shout out to is the fact of the people that they continue to feature on their projects. Like Tyler the Creator. I didn't see that. I didn't see no damn Westside Gunn and Tyler the Creator collaboration happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was dope as hell. And then to go get Wale, like, yo, what the fuck are they doing? But they make the shit work. This is just a whole nother dope ass project that goes in the Hermes series, that goes in everything else that Westside has done in his discography. This is just a whole nother dope ass project. And I'm mind blown as the consistency and the rate that they're putting out this music. Like, No Vacancy, and then George Bondo with Conway and Benny. Oh my fucking God. That beat, when that shit comes in, bruh. And then the other joint that he got Benny and Conway on, Allah Sent Me. Man, look, man. I don't know how to explain or even understand Griselda right now. These motherfuckers taking over the hip hop game to me.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. And the first thing when I put this on is just like, and I don't know if we've ever said this before, but Westside beat selection is crazy, man. The way we mentioned that before. I think when we reviewed Supreme Blind Tale, I remember we was okay. Like, yep. This dude knows what he sounds good on, man. Like, and he knows who sounds good together. I don't know if he's orchestrating these collabs like this, or he's like, such and such a sound good on this. But man, he's masterful at like putting together a track and putting people together. If that's true, if that's him that's doing that, man, this thing is clean, man, through and through. Zelda is like killing it right now. Yep. It's like it's coming to a point for me, which I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but like it's like they dropping so much good consistent shit. It's almost like what else can you really say about this? What good can I say about these dudes that they keep dropping consistent, solid projects? The joints with Benny and Conway, man, it's just of course was dope as fuck. Yeah. DJ Muggs, No Vacancy. I love the fact that DJ Muggs is still letting us know why he's like one of the slept on like GOAT producers. That dude is fucking crazy. Claiborne Kick with Boldy James. I mean, him signing to that. He's the newest member of Griselda. He fits in perfect with them, man. His damn verse was just fucking so menacing and so fucking dark, man. I fucking love that shit. Bro, what hit me in the head real quick was like Euro step. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes. I was like, bro, like this dude, cause he. And I think Myke said this one time. It switches who you like. Like, 1 minute you think you like this person more, and then you think you like this one. But but for him to be able to do something like Euros, I don't know if he's done a flow like that before. But man, I was just like, the wordplay on that is ridiculous. Westside can do that. I didn't know. Yeah, and that was something I wanted to say too on this was that Westside. It seems like he gives you like a different glimpse of who he is on every project.
because yeah, he gave you the regular Westside flow, but like on tracks like Eurostep and other tracks on here, it's just like, nigga, you ain't never do that before, but you just dropped like 30 projects last year. Like, why do you not use this?
Yeah.
And then shit, don't sleep. That Tyler Creator feature was dope as fuck too.
Bro, ain't nobody stupid.
Yeah, his verse, man, Tyler verse was fucking nasty, and the track that he produced was dope as fuck.
Which one was that he produced?
The one he produced was I got you.
Party with Pop Smoke.
Party with Pop Smoke. Yeah, that's the one he produced. He produced that one. But yeah, man, like, of course, 500 Ounces was definitely the one where I was like, when I saw the track, I was like, oh, I cannot wait to hear that shit. When fucking Alchemist doing the beat. This is the reason, Feefo. I know you're gonna hate for me to hear this, and I hate to bring up a dead horse, but this is the reason when we was talking about Fetty, and we was like the perfect MC that would rhyme great with Gibbs over those Alchemist beats would have been Roc Marciano. I'm just gonna say that. I ain't gonna touch on it more. We touched on it enough, but yeah, like, yeah, Gibbs and Roc Marciano, they came with the shit, man. And it's like, yeah, Westside is definitely. It's like, I know we ranking them and stuff. It's like Benny is like my favorite rapper out of the group, but I feel like Westside makes like the doper projects, if that makes sense. Like his, and maybe because he got more albums to go off of than Benny and Conway, but I feel like when Westside dropped those albums, man, or mixtapes, they'd be like, God damn, this shit is fucking hitting like a motherfucker. But don't get me wrong, when we listen to Benny or Conway, we'd be like, God damn, Benny fucking rapping his ass off. But something about Westside, man, it might go to what you said, Rod, like the fact that his beat selection is just like, that shit fits like a fucking glove. Not saying that the other two rappers' beats don't, but it's something about the way Westside orchestrates these albums and construct these albums with this production.
You know what it is? Westside is more colorful with his shit. Like between the beat selections, how his ad-libs, like he's even though you know he's serious as fuck, he's also playful, but he's colorful. Like it's just different. Like I feel like Conway and Benny are more gritty. And that's not discrediting the grit that Westside has. I'm not saying
right. I was about to say
what? He got grit too. All three of them got grit, but it's just I don't know, man. Like Westside is all three of these dudes is different. Man. Westside just shines on his projects. You know what I'm saying? Like it's these things. I don't think I've ever seen or heard anything like what the fuck they're doing right now in hip hop.
See, I think Westside just has more personality. I think Myke brought this up last review. Like in his shows, man, he just stands out because the dude is just silly. He can be hard. He could be. It's so many different layers to him. With Benny's like he's just all that kind of always serious. Same way with Conway, he's like always serious. But Westside will crack jokes and then he'll be serious one time, and then I don't know, man. I think he just exposes more.
You know he gonna throw in those wrestling references throughout the album too, because he loves wrestling. So you expect that from a Westside album.
It reminds me of what Ken says, where I think he said is his uncle or his granddad.
I'm always joking, but I'm never playing. My father-in-law.
Exactly. That's how Westside feels. Like he's always joking around, but don't say the wrong shit. You don't get it bad hard.
Mm-hmm.
I think just to kind of add on to what you guys were saying in regards to this project, I think one of the things that stood out to me were the features. And when you look at the track list, like the first thing I saw was Tyler. I think Joey Badass was listed on here.
Oh, yeah.
But the one that stood out was Wale. And I was like, Wale? How is he gonna make Wale work? And I'll be damned if he did it. And what I liked about what he did in going to get Tyler and Wale and kind of bringing them into his world and still putting them in a position to where they'll succeed, but also to where he won't compromise who he is as an artist as well. And I thought that was really, really dope. But I like that it allows him to kind of expand as an artist. And it also allows him to expose himself to new audiences as well. Because a Wale fan will look and be like, they may not even listen to Westside or know Westside, be like, oh, let me listen to this new Westside joint, or let me listen to this, the Tyler fans, let me listen to that. And then, you know, he may be able to pull in new fans from there. So I thought that was a very calculated move. If that was his intent, he probably just wanted to work with him. You know, I don't know. I haven't listened to any interviews to hear him say that. So I thought that was dope, and that was really the thing that, outside of everything else, I mean, we already know, we've spoken about that, like how dope
right.
it is, the beat and everything else. I just kind of want to add to the conversation that, I thought that was really, really interesting to me. And then on Versace, I wanted to ask you guys this. Did he sample a gospel song?
Yeah, that Blood of the Lamb.
That's
man.
Or he or whoever produced that.
That's that silly dude. Y'all ever see that? That's he's skinny. He used to have a high top fade or whatever. He's like he was a real silly dude on the net. His Twitter name is Jay Versace. He actually produced that track, that Versace.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's been done before, but just the idea of sampling a gospel song on, an album like this, with, some of the stuff that they're talking about was cool to me. I like the voice effect that he did on Claiborne Kick with Boldy too. And then the tap dancing on the last track. Man. Try to even say the name, but that shit was fucking dope as hell. And I think that, again, bringing in something that's outside the norm of what I've heard and adding it to an album, I think just, again, speaks to his artistry. And B, I'm surprised nobody, and Myke hasn't spoke yet, he probably was, but how nobody has mentioned the premiere beat?
Oh, what's the name? Versus Sean versus Flair.
I was gonna mention it.
Yeah, let Myke cook.
That's my handoff.
Oh. Go ahead and cook, Myke.
I got something to say about it, but yo.
I bet you do. Yeah, I like this project, man. I wasn't really sure what to expect because Westside typically gives you the same formula, and I think that's when you guys were saying you're not sure how they keep being able to, reproduce this magic. I think what it is those guys have figured out a great formula, and they know as long as they don't stray too far from that formula, then they're going to be cool. And if you like that formula, you're going to like just about everything they do. With this project, though, I found it interesting that he did stray a little bit from the formula, only in the matter of, I think the production that he chose was different than what he's gone over before. It was still that kind of mellow shit, but what I picked up on immediately was, this ain't like Supreme Blientele, where that album was 99% like hard fucking gutter grimy beats. This one really wasn't that. This was almost like Westside was like on his quote unquote pretty nigga shit, where it's like, I'm gonna show y'all how smooth I am and how classy I am by going over these beats that, while they're still hard, they're not like dirty and grimy and nasty like the other stuff he does. But I think that this album definitely stands apart from the other stuff I've heard from Westside because he decided to do some different shit with his production. And I think that's really dope that they know this formula, but he knows just how far to stray from that formula to still make this shit work within the formula. Like, Westside is really doing some crazy shit. But No Vacancy, yeah, B, that fucking DJ Muggs beat was really nice. Really nice. And he said, my shooter shot 5 niggas in a row, we yelled bingo. Like, when y'all were saying that Westside is goofy and jokey, that's what sets him apart. When you have Conway and Betty, they're just mean and angry all the time. Whereas Westside will crack these jokes, but the second you step to him the wrong way, you feel like he's gonna crack your face open. And I love that about him. George Bondo was really mean. Everyone brought their A game on that shit. Although, if we're gonna compare posse cuts, I liked Allah Sent Me More, because I liked that verse trade-off that they were doing. That shit was so dope, because it wasn't like they were trading off like, oh, I'll bust these 2 bars, then you bust these 2 bars. I like how they were taking it back to like that old school kind of like Beastie Boys type shit, where it's like, I'll start a bar and you finish the bar. I like that kind of shit, and I don't know why, but I wouldn't really expect Griselda dudes to do that very much. but that shit was fucking great.
They did it on the collab. They did it on the collab album. What Machine Gun do?
Well, they did that a lot on the collab album, but but it felt different here because it didn't feel like it was calculated.
No, it
almost seemed like they were just, I don't know, it was weird. It was like, so one guy will bust like 3 bars, then one guy will step in and do 2.5 bars, and then somebody will finish that bar, then do 2 more bars. It was just weird the way that they planned it out. So I'm used to like Run the Jewels kind of doing that, and there's some other groups that definitely do that, but it was just different the way they did it on this. But I will go ahead and mention that Primo beat, the Sean versus Flair. While I like that song, I feel like I would have liked it on a different project more. It felt weird on this. Like with the second it started with the I'm like, oh shit. And I was like, what is this? I didn't know it was Primo until I looked later, and I was like, when it started, I was like, man, how the fuck is Westside gonna rap on this?
Yeah,
he killed it.
Mm-hmm.
He killed that beat. But I've listened to this project probably, I don't know, 5 times since it dropped.
Yeah.
And every time it gets to that song, it definitely sticks out a little bit. And it's weird that this is a project that I like the entire thing, but there's a song that while I still like it, it's almost like I kind of wish it wasn't on this. Because I feel like I might like it more if it was on something else.
I agree.
Have you ever heard? Hey, Myke, have you heard Headlines? It's the Lucy track that they did with Primo. All 3 of them. Benny. Mm-hmm. You heard that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like that track would not fit on any Griselda project. There was another song that I didn't think should work. Whoa. That French Toast song.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if y'all picked up on that, where it was like Westside's doing his version of a love song.
Like you said, Myke, that pretty boy shit. He on his pretty shit.
But it was like the thing about it is that was the only content where it was like it was different from his other shit. Yeah. He's still talking about, coke and beating up people and shooting people, whatever. That was the only one where the content was a little bit different, but it was just weird because every time I hear it, I'm like, man, this shit should not work. But it does. It works out great. Mm-hmm. So again, I think that Westside has figured out what their formula is, and he knows just how far to stray from the formula while still making it work. And ending that shit with saying that nigga tap dance on the coke, and then Cartier Williams come in with that was actually really him. That wasn't a sample.
Yeah, no, yeah.
That was really, they really got this dude to come tap dance.
That shit was crazy.
That's incredible.
Man. That shit was, and I think I saw a video either on Twitter or Instagram where they showed him in the studio, like in the booth.
That's
dancing, dude.
Crazy.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
I gotta get my charger.
I saw that shit. Back. Okay, yeah, I remember seeing that like weeks ago or maybe months ago, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" So when I finally heard the track, I was like, "Oh shit!" I like he really did that shit. Like he really brought him in.
I don't know why, man, but that shit was hilarious to me when I heard it.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it wasn't dope. It's
right.
Funny. I was like, man, they really got somebody tap dancing on this track. Like I was just laughing. Like I was just laughing. It was something that you said, Myke, about it was about how he's figured out the formula and able to work outside the formula. That's the signs of a true artist, right? Like when they're able to. And not just an artist as far as rapper, just artists in general, when they're able to like break the rules. Like you figure out what the rules are and then you break those rules. And I don't know, that kind of brings me back to, I guess, the opening track where they was talking about the art piece and how it was going for 40 million and all that. I guess he's really into art or whatever. And just, I don't know, it might be a connection there about how, you are an artist. And once you become a true artist, you're able to, draw out of those lines a little bit. And that's exactly what he did here, man. That's exactly what he did. This one just doesn't quite sound like the others. Like he did something different here. And I was just like, damn. And I think Feefo said this before, like you made all these projects and you're just now showing us that you can do these things as well. Like that's crazy, bro. It's like he's evolving. It's like he's constantly evolving. And I never saw that for Westside. I thought Westside just had one sound and that was it. No, he's evolving. Like
he said on Twitter, like he posted the album and he said don't call me a rapper no more. I'm an artist.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
But I thought that was just him doing his goofy shit like he was doing at the show.
Yeah.
So I read it and I was like, man, this dude Westside is hilarious.
Yeah.
But no, he wasn't playing.
No, he
wasn't joking. He was
That's
fucking.
exactly how I felt on this. He was a little, yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm saying he just gave us a little. He's like an artist. He gives a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Like I said, with Euro stuff, he's never done that.
Right.
I've never heard him do that. So it was just like, dude, like what in the world? But what you gonna say?
I think that you were 100% on it when you said that he's figuring out, like, as an artist, how to slightly draw outside the lines.
Yeah.
And I was gonna bring up the art tweet, but I'm glad you said that because I had forgotten. But yeah, like when you listen to this is like their extremely artistic side to being a dope boy.
Yeah.
Or being a thug dude. Like, and it's incredible to me because I've been listening to them for a minute now, and it's incredible to me that we're getting to this point where he's just now revealing, like, oh, you didn't think that I could do anything but this really grimy, dirty, nasty shit. Well, look at this album.
Yeah.
You got all of these beats that aren't really overly grimy and dirty and nasty, but I can still make them overly grimy and dirty and nasty. This is almost like when Cream came out, because that wasn't like a grimy, nasty beat, but the way all of those dudes came on there and made it grimy and nasty, like that's Griselda is the closest thing I think we've seen to the Wu phenomenon in a really long time. And I really hope that they stick to this.
Yeah.
Because this formula is fucking gold.
Westside claimed that this year is gonna be the last year he drop albums. So
I remember he said that, but man, he gotta give us something else like this.
I think he's supposed to be doing an album with Madlib. That's the rumor mill going on. So
real quick, man, I gotta give props to Conway for one of the hardest lines on this whole shit, where he said, we're the last of the hard rappers. The feds didn't find no work, but they found the garbage full of soft rappers. Man, usually when an MC rhymes the same word with the, you know what I'm saying? In 2 man, usually I'm like, man, come on, you could have done something better. That line, I was in the kitchen washing dishes and I was like, oh, that was nasty. I don't know why. I think it's just the way he delivered it was so dope. But these guys together, man, they are really doing some serious work in the rap game, and I want to see it continue. I really, really do. Yeah, this album is great.
To add on, Myke, or to kind of go to what you were saying about the Primo joint, the reason why it feels out of place is because he did that after the album was done. The track list he put out, and this is an interview he did on Revolt, because I was looking at the track list to see who produced what, and I noticed that Sean vs. Flair wasn't on there. So I was looking it up, and then he said that when the track list went viral on social media, Premier hit him up and asked him, is the album done? And he was like, it is, but if you send me something, he'll add him to it. So Premier went to the studio, made a beat, sent it to him, and he said he made it in 15 minutes, sent it back. Primo put the cuts on it, and he had the Primo record. And he said they did all that in less than, he said that whole song and beat and everything was done in less than 24 hours. So that's why it's an add-on. But I ain't mad at it. I love it.
I'm not either.
But but that's why it feels, that's why you got that feeling you got from it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not mad at it, but go ahead.
I think regardless, I think I would have got that feeling because Primo's not that type of producer.
Right.
But I still think that it's cool that he put it on here because it sticks out. Again, this is him, like Rod said, coloring out the lines just so much. And that is the biggest example, in my opinion, of him coloring out the lines and still somehow making that shit work.
So my favorite tracks on this joint, give me No Vacancy, give me George Bondo, give me Your Step, give me Allah Sent Me, give me 500 Ounces. I'm gonna stop because I could keep going. I'm gonna just stop.
Give me George Bondo, give me Allah Sent Me, 500 Ounces, Claiborne Kick, and Eurostep.
George Bondo, 327, Eurostep, Allah Sent Me, and $500 ounces.
I'll go with Allah Sent Me, 500 ounces, George Bondo, Eurostep. Let's do Versace.
I'm gonna go No Vacancy, George Bondo, Allah Sent Me, 500 ounces, and Party with Pop Smoke.
Westside Gunn, if you watching, look, man, ain't much for me to say outside of just keep giving me projects. And if you don't want to give us no more projects, give us features. At least give me the do. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give me something, man. Like, bro, like y'all shit is hella dope. This is another dope ass project. I don't know how y'all keep doing it, but keep doing it. That's it, man. That's all I got, man. Just keep giving me work, please.
Westside Gunn, if you're watching, again for the million gazillion trillion times, thank you so much for continue to putting out solid projects, man. Like your discography. I mean, we're gonna be having discussions pretty soon about your discography because I mean your joints is coming out very solid and good every time you release an album, man. This is always like goddamn, like I'm expecting quality. That's great when I'm expecting quality from you guys, man. You as well as the rest of your Griselda crew, man. Like you guys always do a great job. So that's all I'm pretty much say is thank you. Because at this point, I don't know. I've said so many great things about you, good things about you. I don't know what else to say now. It's like you released another good project. Goddamn, Westside, like you fucking did it again. So I'm just gonna say thank you, man.
Same sentiments, man. Thank you, Westside, the artist. But yeah, man, this was a surprise, man. I like, when you click on the Westside, you be like, all right, cool, here we go, another good Westside Gunn album. But this was a little more than that. This was like, oh man, this is a Westside Gunn album with a little extra. So, hey man, I just appreciate the evolution. I appreciate just as an artist, like to be able to have a solid formula and be able to color outside of those lines a little bit. Like as I said in the review, I think that's the identity of a real artist that's able to know the rules, know it works, but still able to. And then once you get to that place, be able to do something a little different. And so I just appreciate that. If you make more music, I appreciate it. If you don't, I still appreciate it because you've given us so much content. So thank you, bro.
Westside Gunn, if you're watching, great album, replay value is high, and that's it, man. That's really all I really have to say, man. I mean, you're incredibly dope as an artist, and I appreciate everything that you put out so far. I will add though that I am glad that you recovered from the coronavirus. I saw you tweeted about that. So I'm glad that you recovered from that, and that's it, man. So just keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Westside Gunn, I am happy that I was surprised by this album because, like the guys said, I always expect quality, but I really wasn't expecting you to stray a little bit from your sound. And I think it's dope that you know just how far to go and keep everything sounding still Griselda, you know what I'm saying? But this is a great project, man. If you put out more, I'll be happy. If you stop putting out projects, I will understand. Either way, I have a plethora of albums to dig through, and now I have one that definitely jumps out and stands out from the other material that you've done. But hey, man, I hope you keep putting in that work and keep killing these fucking beats, keep putting out these incredible projects. But anyway it goes, I'm a fan, and yeah, man, I appreciate you, and I can't wait to see what you do next, whether it's music or if it's really you just showing up to shows and making motherfuckers pay $50 to look at you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you gonna do, man, I'm gonna get a kick out of it. So thank you.